Welcome everyone to Rank Talks Ball. We're back with another watch along on match day 3 of Group C. It's the United States of America against Uruguay. The United States backs against the wall against the back. 3 points plus 1 goal difference after their loss in their last game against Panama. Meanwhile, Uruguay branding on a high after 2 comfortable wins, top of the group, and are most likely gonna finish top of the group no matter what. We're mostly here to see if the USA are gonna qualify to the quarterfinals or if this is gonna be a crash and burn for the Stars and Stripes at the tournament that they are hosting, which would be extremely embarrassing. Obviously, if the USA end up going out, it's not gonna be because they lost this game, it's gonna be because of what happened against Panama. But this is the deciding moment because under Greg Berhalter, and I'm gonna get to your comments, but under Greg Berhalter, the USA haven't gotten a statement win. The only wins that the USA have gotten against opponents that are higher than them in FIFA rankings were against Mexico, basically. And I think there's like another few friendlies or something, but they're pretty much only beating Mexico of teams that are supposedly ahead of their level. And now we know that Mexico isn't even ahead of their level, that Mexico is pretty mediocre at the moment and that they got grouped last night, if you saw that watch along that we did against Ecuador. So the USA need a statement win, and this Uruguay is a very, very top side, one of the favorites to win the Copa America. If the USA could get a win here, it would be massive. Not only would they qualify to the quarterfinals in style, but it also would make a statement that the USA can be competitive. Even if they then lose in the quarterfinals, at least this would show the world that the USA is a team to be feared and that can grow along a lot in the 2 years that are remaining until they host the World Cup, which would be massive. If they go out, it might be just reconstruction. So welcome to everyone in the chat. Hello Elijah, let's ride. Best of luck to you, man. Best of luck to you as well, AD. Welcome Mats as well. It is indeed a big game, a huge game. We're also gonna have Panama and Bolivia playing at the same time. We're gonna be checking out on that result because that is extremely important. As things stand, the USA are qualifying to the quarterfinals because they have a superior goal difference than Panama, and goal difference is the first tiebreaker, not head-to-head. So if both games end in a draw, the USA qualifies. Basically, the US has to match the result that Panama gets. What this means is that if Panama beat Bolivia, the USA can only advance by beating Uruguay, which is like the most complicated part. So if we're gonna have the other game not on the side, but I'm gonna be looking at the result very carefully because if Panama start leading the game, USA are forced to beat Uruguay. So we're gonna see how the momentum shifts if that's the case. I might go into depression. No. AD, no need for that. No need for that. No, Bielsa is a boost. Yes, Bielsa is suspended for this game after delaying the restart of the game against Bolivia in match day 2. Similar thing that happened to Scaloni and Gareca. This is apparently something that has happened a lot. Casually, it's a bit of a coincidence that it's 3 Argentinian coaches that are getting suspended for this. They are saying that the dressing rooms, because they are like NFL style, they are too far away from the pitch. So like they underestimated how long they could take to give their talks, and so when they started walking back onto the pitch, they realized that they had to walk a long way. So yeah, they just kind of arrived at the pitch late for the restart of the game. So yeah, we're gonna see how much Bielsa not being there affects Uruguay's in-game management, or if it's not really a factor in this. My prediction is 2-2. 2-2 would be enough for the USA as long as Panama don't win. But if Panama beats Bolivia, that result would still eliminate the USA, which would be pretty sad because a 2-2 draw against Uruguay is normally a good result, but if it gets you eliminated, the narrative changes. Not really. Well, it is, but it's not a big boost. Hello, Rank. Hello, Patrick. I'll check what Steve is saying. Yeah, I'm sure that Steve on his own watch-along is gonna be a mad dude during the whole of the game. Best 11 still used though for Uruguay. Yep, I'm a bit surprised because I was expecting a few substitutes to come in for Uruguay, but no, not the case. Still full strength 11. I was expecting like Uruguay to want to win this game, but I was not expecting like the full 11. Let's actually check the 11s together. Let's see what we are dealing with. I'm gonna check in Google. Okay, where can I check this? Here we go. Let me change the scene. Not that one. This one. This one. Okay. So here we have USA. Matt Turner, huge. Matt Turner, who was subbed out injured against Panama, has made a speedy recovery. Only yesterday he was able to train back with the USA team, and now he's back in the starting 11. Huge for the USA to have Turner in goal. And we're gonna see, because the USA are gonna need him if they wanna keep a clean sheet or if they wanna keep it low scoring against Uruguay. So Matt Turner, a huge boost to the USA. Joe Scally, Chris Richards, Tim Rim, and Anthony Robinson, the back line. I think it's pretty much the best back four that the USA can field. Cameron Carter-Vickers was not really effective on that game, on his cameo he made against Panama. So no surprises here. Weston McKennie, Tyler Adams, and Yunus Musa, Gio Reyna, Folarin Balogun, and Christian Pulisic. I think, given that Timothy Weah obviously is suspended, this is probably the best 11 that the USA can field. As for Uruguay, Sergio Rochet in goal, Matias Viña, Matias Olivera, who's now playing as a center back instead of Cáceres and Josema Jimenez. Apparently this is something that Bielsa likes, having both Matias Olivera and Matias Viña, who are both supposedly left backs, having Matias Olivera as one of the center backs as the option. Ronald Araujo, Nathan Nandes, double pivot, Manuel Ugarte and Fede Valverde, Nico de la Cruz in that number 10 role, Pelistri on the right wing, Maxi Araujo on the left wing, and Darwin Núñez at the striker. So yeah, this is pretty much the best 11 that Uruguay have been using. Obviously, like I mentioned, Jose Maria Jimenez and Sebastián Cáceres usually could start in that center back position, but not the case. We're not seeing obviously the guys of Rodrigo Bentancur or Jordan de Rascaeta, who often make cameos for Uruguay, start in this game, but we are obviously gonna see them come off the bench at some point, I imagine. Players that I imagine can come on for the USA, Ricardo Pepi, even though he's not been having the best Copa America, I think that he's still gonna be utilized if the USA need any goals. Lucas de la Torre, Johnny Cardoso, other players. Haji Wright, I'm surprised that we haven't seen Haji Wright, considering how much hype there was after his great season. I'm blanking on the team. They went to penalties with Manchester United. Chat, I'm blanking. I'm old. I'm having a Biden moment. I need a miracle rank. I know you do. The chat looks a bit mold on this one. Hey Rank, hello Furifax. Thank you so much for joining the stream. No idea why I'm still awake. It's 2 a.m. right now, but I'm glad I'm here for this huge watch along. Thank you so much for staying up. I know that it's pretty hard with the time zones at times for Europeans watching the Copa America, but I appreciate that not only you're watching Copa America, but that you're watching it through my channel as well. So thank you. Coventry, thank you. Coventry City, of course. I was blanking, Biden moment. I don't think I will chat much for this particular stream. No, it's fair. If you're watching the game, I don't expect you to chat as much, but it's nice to have you all. Oh, say, can you see? I need a miracle. I need hope. Listen, the hope is that Matt Turner is back. That is the hope. Matt Turner is back. And listen, maybe we can convince Darwin Núñez that this is a Liverpool game and not a Uruguay game. That is a bit of the hopium for this one. Both teams at full strength. Uruguay obviously the much better team on paper, but listen, the ones who are needing a result is the USA, and they are the home team. They are not the real home team, because the real home team was Mexico, the one who was always going to have fan support. Mexico are already out, and now the actual host may go out. Wow, that stadium from that view looks pretty empty. People have not really shown up for this game in the manner that they should, but I guess it's a decent atmosphere, a decent audience for this game. We're gonna see how it goes. Let me change the scene back to the Watchalong. Commentary, yeah. I think I know where I rank Luis Suarez at the strikers post R9. Probably not number 1, but I do. Wow, you really know the American national anthem really well. No, I was just saying what Elijah says. I literally only know Oh Say Can You See and The Land of the Free. I don't know anything else. Tim Wild looks like a sad dude on the sidelines, but that's what you get for getting a stupid red card. Turner back is hopefully a good sign. It's a very good sign. He made a speedy recovery from that injury. Only yesterday he began training with the team again. So like he was rushed. He was either rushed or made like a miraculous recovery. And if that's the case, listen, miracles can happen. Around 6th, maybe 3rd minimum. That is crazy. That's crazy, bro. That's crazy. So, national anthem's done. Just a reminder, as you can see here on the pin message, no spoilers in chat. The whole reason that I'm doing this watch along is so you guys can see my reaction to the game. So spoiling something in the chat only ruins my reaction and ruins the whole point of the watch along. So if you see something happen in the game, just wait for me to react to it and then type it in the chat. There's no need to type it before. If I see a spoiler in the chat, I will close the chat and I will not look at chat again. And I will reconsider whether I should keep doing these watch-alongs, which would be a shame because I'm really enjoying them and I feel like it's good coverage for the Copa America. Good content. I hope. Please tell me you enjoy my content. I'm really insecure about it. I have some names. I'm not interested in names. No, I don't want to hear it actually. I don't want to hear it actually. Hopefully we will get to hear Steve sing the US anthem one day. Hopefully at the 2026 World Cup. That is the main aim. To be there. We'll be there no matter what. Unless we have no money. In that case we will not be there. Kevin Ortega from Peru. I literally don't know this referee. I feel like if he's from CONMEBOL, I should have seen him a time or two in Copa Libertadores, but no, I've never seen this referee. I have no idea how he is. So Mats has said his predictions. What are the predictions for the rest of the chat? I'm saying it's 2-1 or 3-1 for Uruguay. I'm not a believer, being honest, but it's football, or I guess I should say it's soccer, right? I'll just say Thierry Henry and Raul then. I won't share the rest. Ain't no way that Thierry Henry and Raul are better than Luis Suarez, man. Ain't no way that's a real take. I'm going 2-0 Uruguay. That is fair. I just think that the USA will score a goal at least. 2-1 America. So there's some hope in the chat. I see. Arrowhead Stadium is the home of the Super Bowl champions Chiefs. And being honest, Kansas City, like others, have cold in the winter and hot in the summer. Wait, bro, they didn't tell me that the game was gonna start. Ah, okay, start the timer a bit late, as always. But we're on their way. Wow, this camera angle looks super weird. It looks like I'm playing a video game. The players are so small from here. The pitch doesn't look nice. Again, how are the pitches so bad in this tournament? I know that they replaced the turf to put in natural grass, but how does it look so bad so quickly? I don't understand. The US has not made a good job organizing this tournament. I feel like CONMEBOL has to take the blame for that one. I did say shake, not share. What happened there? Yeah, it seemed like it went out for a goal kick. So we have Paulo Quiroga replacing Bielsa as manager for Uruguay. Oh, Uruguay already going on the break, but Richards, ooh, and Turner has to clear that, but Uruguay already pressing so high up, they are so intense, I swear. The US is not ready for this intensity. If we're gonna play like this the whole game, it's gonna be very complicated. But let's see what they can do now. Pulisic, stay in. Okay, nice Puli. Ah, that bounced off him, that's unlucky. And Shulenil, thank you so much for joining the stream. Any updates on the Messi injury in Argentina media? The update is that Messi does not feel any pain anymore. Messi feels fine. He doesn't feel any pain anymore. Scaloni has said that he's not gonna take any risk with him. So even though Messi says he's okay, they are still checking on him, and a decision will be made tomorrow about what's gonna happen to Messi ahead of the game on Thursday. So we have a few days to go still, but we may have news tomorrow about Messi's injury. We just know that he feels fine and that he's training with the team, and that Scaloni, if he has even the slightest bit of doubt about the situation, or that is a free kick for the US. No, not given. That definitely looked like a free kick for the US. Wow. The referee actually not blowing his whistle on that one. Oh no, my stream, what the heck? Okay, there we go. My stream was... Checking the replay again, that didn't look like a foul, but yeah, those were the news about Messi, basically. Any former teammates of Suarez for USA? If so, and he scores, he'll bite the hand that used to feed him. That's crazy. No, I don't think anyone in the USA has shared a team with Suarez before. My predictions is USA 1, Uruguay 0. So a bit of hope in the chat again. There's 2 believers so far. Patrick and Toons. Emi Martinez has the reflexes of a black cat. Why a black cat specifically? Oh, because of the cat meme. Mats, come on. This is good news that Messi doesn't feel pain anymore. It definitely is, but we're gonna see how he evolves. Did Cannibal Suarez even go to the gym for this Copa? I doubt it, but he looks in form for Inter Miami, to be fair. Can USA win the midfield battle? It's gonna be a real difficult match. I feel like USA are better off playing direct football, in my opinion. Ugarte is gonna bully them. So I also need to be aware of the Panama-Bolivia game. So I'm gonna have this on the side. Let's see. Okay, there we go. If the US get grouped, do you think Greg should be sacked? Yes. I think Greg should have been sacked a long time ago. Well, they shouldn't have rehired him after the World Cup. That was the really weird part. That he was gone, and somehow the US thought that those results were good enough for him to stay. Anyway, here's a free kick for the US. Pulisic gonna take it. This is probably one of a great avenue for the US to try and get into the game, get started, probably through the set pieces, which equalize any match basically. Pulisic with the cross. That header is never going in from Team Rim. Exactly rank plus I wanted to at least refer to a cat of the right size. USA have a good midfield three versus a double pivot, I suppose, but it's not like De La Cruz doesn't do anything defensively. And the other wingers and even Darwin Núñez move so much around the whole attacking front that, you know, with their press, they can help win the midfield battle for Uruguay as well. I think I'm gonna change the stream again because it's buffering a lot. Holy shit, it was an actual nightmare to find another stream. Oh my god, so many ads on that. What is Uruguay's weakness in your opinion? Where do you feel they lack something in the game? Because of Uruguay under Bielsa is looking really good. Uruguay's weakness would be how exposed they get on the back from pressing that much. It's a bit similar to what happened with Fluminense. The game is just too chaotic with Uruguay, so there are a lot more instances where you can expose their defense if you punish it correctly. And their style also relies on them being extremely precise with their passes, which is, if they are, it's very hard for you to play. But if they are not on their day, it's very easy to just capture the ball back in the midfield and hit them on the counter. Those would be the weaknesses on Uruguay, but you kind of have to hope that they're on a bad day. If they keep playing this perfectly, they are a menace to everyone. That was not a good corner. I need to update the clock already, because after finding a new streaming service, I'm actually ahead of this. Oh, Reina! Oi, oi, oi. Careful, careful, Uruguay. That was a good cross from Reina. Rochet was very aware of that, coming off his line to intercept it, because otherwise Balogan would have simply had a tap in. To be fair, 2022 was a success. First time back in 8 years, new players, mostly young, and USA weren't a guarantee to get out of the group. Yeah, it was a success, but you know, the other results didn't really scream, oh yeah, Greg needs to get the job. Drawing against Wales was pretty bad, and they only barely just beat Iran in that game. Iran were pretty close to equalizing many times in the second half, and that would have eliminated the USA. If Greg's done this research, will he try and wait for Uruguay to tire out? The thing is, if you play like that, you need to have a defensive masterclass as well. If you want to play the long game and tire out Uruguay and only wait until like the 60th or 70th minute to start attacking, one, you're going to have many less chances to actually get a goal because you're going to be starting to attack too late. And second, you need to have a defensive masterclass, which, you know, do you trust USA to keep a clean sheet if they defend for like 60 minutes? If they only defend very close to their box or anything? Like it's tough, it's tough. Did you see CR7 cry today? Yeah, it was very weird. It was not a hate watch, but it was pretty weird seeing him cry mid-game. Like there's still 15 minutes to go, and as the captain, 39-year-old man, grown-ass man, you are crying. I get it, you missed a penalty and that was very important. The game is still going. Like with your experience, you should know that, okay, it's time to calm down. We leave it in the past. We play these 15 minutes, we win this game, and we forget about it. We'll have time to cry about it later. Seeing him cry at halftime or extra time was shocking. I really did not expect that. It's bad luck to the opposition when Uruguay sinks second in the major tournament before a tournament game. Why, is that a real statistic? I think Uruguay sang first their national anthem though, in this one. The USA went second. I feel the hype, energy, and excitement in the end of their anthem before the Ghana game. The Uruguay anthem does go pretty hard, I must admit. "16 minutes have passed on the other game, still 0-0. With these results, the USA are qualifying to the quarterfinals. The moment Panama score a goal, the USA have to go on the attack. Jaden Alvarado, thank you so much to join the stream. Welcome again. I can relax after a heart attack watching the Euros, and I think the USA have been well so far. Yeah, it's been a very decent game for the US. Tyler Adams gets a yellow card now, but offensively, they've had a few chances. Not like big chances, but they've been creating a bit. They've been going toe-to-toe with Uruguay so far. We gotta see how this develops. Italy got the best national anthem in my opinion. It's really good. Italy national anthem is really good. I haven't listened to all European anthems, a lot of them because I watched the Euros. I liked Ukraine's anthem a lot. From South America, from Latin America as a whole, I think Uruguay, Mexico, Argentina, and Brazil are among the best. I think the Italian anthem is average, elevated by the singing. Isn't that the whole point? Like to sing the anthem? USA have the resources and players to win. I feel like they still play the simple sideways passes of the 1970s, sideways play of the 1970s. I mean, Greg wants the USA to play more possessional style of play, playing out of the back like we're seeing right now. But they're getting aggressively pressed, and I don't know if it's really gonna work. I really don't think that possession-based football is the best for the USA, especially going up against top teams. I feel like you need to shift your strategies from time to time. It also feels like that Greg doesn't have a plan B, like ever. Greg never has a plan B. If plan A fails, we're screwed. Also the reason why the USA has struggled a lot away from home. Luckily now they are at home, but Should CONCACAF merge with CONMEBOL? I don't think so. Because like I said, the logistics would be insane. You don't realize how big America is. If you live in Europe, like, you can travel from, obviously, going from Lisbon to Kiev is a massive distance, right? I guess you wouldn't go to Kiev right now, but let's say Portugal have to play in Norway. That cross was really bad from police. Let's say Portugal play Norway, so you have to travel from Lisbon to Oslo. That is a big stretch. Did you know that the whole length of Chile goes from Lisbon to Moscow? Chile alone is as long as the entirety of Europe. Now imagine going from Chile to Canada to play an away game in Toronto. The distance that you need to cover, the logistics, is like going around the globe. Because you're going basically around the globe, but from south to north, instead of from west to east. But it's basically like going around the world. That is insane. Like, the logistics around merging CONCACAF and CONMEBOL wouldn't make sense. The travel distance would be insane. It would be a pain. In that sense, it doesn't really make sense. In the other aspects, look, it may be a benefit to both confederations, but I'm thinking of it as from a logical standpoint. It doesn't really click for me. Now I will say this. If Panama, because Panama border with Colombia, so they are like the closest. If Panama get out of this group, let them join CONMEBOL. I'll allow Panama to join in as a new member of CONMEBOL, the 11th member. I'll allow that. My top 5 would probably be Netherlands, Russia, Germany, Sweden, lower zone, that's weirdly specific, and France. Russia, I understand. Netherlands, I need to hear it again. Germany's anthem is incredibly boring, is incredibly average in my opinion. France is a good anthem, is overrated in my opinion, but it's a good anthem. Because in most lists, the French national anthem is the top of the top, and I don't think it is. That's why I say it's overrated. I'm not saying it's bad, it's good, but just not the best. And Sweden in lower tone, it's like, yeah. Sitting on the fence, North and South America merge in basketball. Yeah, but those are like 1 month competitions, like Pan American tournaments. The qualifiers play only across a single month. Like if you made, as we have a Panama goal, Panama have scored. Fajardo, the same guy who scored the winner against the USA, has now scored for Panama, who are leading against Bolivia. And this means that the USA has to win this game to qualify. USA are going out as it stands, even with this draw. It's not enough because Panama is beating Bolivia. The USA have to win. Like I was saying, Mats, those qualifying tournaments, like qualifiers for the Basketball World Cup, take place in like 2 weeks. If you could make World Cup qualifiers between CONMEBOL and CONCACAF, like a mini tournament that lasts a month in the summer or something, then it would make sense. But you can, it's very hard to make the whole of qualifiers just a single month. If you're gonna play qualifiers the normal way, like over the span of 3 years, having to travel back and forth from South America to North America, then it doesn't make sense. So like that argument that North and South America merge in basketball is not a real argument because the qualifiers don't function the same. But rank, planes, it's like a 15-hour flight. More, it's more than that. No, it's insanity. No. You have to take multiple flights. You have to take stops. Nah, I don't care. I'll never accept that. I'll never accept that. Germany's anthem used to be better, but they changed the pitch higher. Normally in football, Sweden's anthem is okay, but the one they played in 2018 hit different. Maybe because you were there. Maybe because you were present for the Sweden anthem. I don't know if that makes a difference. But maybe hearing an anthem in a stadium makes you appreciate it more than hearing it in TV. A Uruguay player is down. He clashed with Matt Turner, who's not been having luck with clashing with players. Maxi Araujo is gonna have to be subbed out. It seems like Maxi cannot continue. The left winger for Uruguay. We're gonna see what substitution Quiroga decides to make. No, I've never been to Russia. Oh, I thought you were in Russia for the 2018 World Cup. My mistake. It hit differently because it sounded much better. Okay, fair enough. So Maxi Araujo subbed out for Christian Oliveira. It's saying because of a concussion. concussion. Is there a difference? Am I mixing those up? I don't know. Either way, one of those substitutions that doesn't waste a window. But yeah, Maxerajo subbed out for Oliveira. We're gonna see if Uruguay changed offensively, because they were looking much better now. Uruguay were actually pushing USA pretty hard, but let's see if they have the same offensive power now that Maxi Araujo has left the pitch. So you're okay with invited teams like Burundi and North Korea playing in the Copa America? No, I'm not saying that. I think that the best Copa America is when CONCACAF teams get invited, and specifically 6 of them, so we have a 16-team tournament. Here comes the US. Balogun, is that a penalty? That's offside. They say it's offside. Balogun did look offside, and now he's clashed with Rochet. So we're seeing many collisions between attackers and goalkeepers now. Weird that this is the second time this has happened. And the opposing end now, just a few minutes, one after the other. Let's see if Balogun and Rochet are... The USA fans were asking for a VAR check, but if Balogun was offside, there's nothing to check. As things stand, the US might get grouped. They are getting grouped as it stands. They need to beat Uruguay. If Panama beat Bolivia, the USA must beat Uruguay. There's no other way. If it goes back to 12 teams, then 2 of the invited nations should be Guyana and Suriname, maybe French Guyana, I guess. But French, those are like the South American nations which are not part of CONMEBOL. But let's see if Balogun is offside. Oh, definitely offside. A mile offside. Suriname, Guyana, and French Guyana are like the South American nations which are not part of CONMEBOL. Instead, they are part of CONCACAF. They are simply not competitive, man. I feel like they would just be whipping boys at the Copa America. They would lose all their games and probably not even score a goal. Mexico and America getting knocked out would be extremely ironic, especially their history of dominance in CONCACAF, and especially because Canada has already made it to the quarters, and with these results, Panama would be making it to the quarters. So the USA and Mexico would go out while Panama and Canada make the knockouts. Canada, in their first ever Copa America appearance, make it the knockouts, yet the USA can't. Playing at home, that's embarrassing. 16-team tournament, much better than 24-team tournament, I agree. Allowing third place teams to progress from the group is lame. We have seen extremely mediocre teams qualify to the round of 16 in the Euros. And not to take anything away from those teams that qualified, but the group stage just hits a lot different when there's a lot more on the line, when only 2 teams qualify. And that makes the knockouts more competitive, because you need to at least win a game to qualify to the knockouts. You have to prove that you're good enough. No penalty? Yeah, no, it was miles offside, even if there was a foul inside the box, which I don't think there was. If Chile are going to play the team north of Mexico in a qualifier, then their planes need to be much faster. Yeah, it's never happened. It's never happening. Suriname would be foddered for the big teams? Yep, never. Honestly, Curaçao may be more competitive than Guyana and Suriname, if we're being honest. No penalty, Elijah. Balogun was offside. CONCACAF is the real Farmers League. Are we surprised about that? They've always been. Like, you have to play random Caribbean nations who can barely field 11 players. And teams who have no pitches because they go underwater when the sea level rises. Like, it doesn't make sense. And Mexico like to consider themselves giants because they beat Cuba and Guatemala and Jamaica to win a Gold Cup. Like, shut up. 32-team tournament much better than 48-team tournament. I'm inclined to agree because in the 48 team World Cup, we're gonna see, like we mentioned before, for third place teams progressing from the group stage. But I still wanna see how that format plays out in a Copa America because not in a Copa America, in a World Cup, because it's a format that we've never seen ever. So I want to see it play out at least once before I completely rule it out of the question. But on paper, I like the 32 team format more. Canada disappointed me at the World Cup. They missed a lot of chances versus Belgium, were bad defensively against Croatia, and they made errors against Morocco, 0 points in total. Yeah, it was a disappointing performance. That game against Belgium, they should have won, and they conceded in the single chance that they allowed Belgium to have. Or here come Uruguay in the counter. No. Oh, is that gonna be a yellow? Yep, yellow for Chris Richards. Oh, the play goes on. Oh, Nandes chipped it over Matt Turner, and it gets cleared off the line. I mean, not really off the line, but the USA players are protesting to the ref because they didn't expect Uruguay to play the free kick that quickly. They were concerned about the player on the floor. That was a weird sequence of events, but Uruguay almost make it 1-0. No, the real Farmers League is Oceania. Okay, but come on, like we're not counting Oceania as a real confederation, are we? How are the international relations between Argentina and Uruguay? I feel like it would be a lot calmer than Argentina-Chile or Argentina-Brazil. The international relations, we are like, our biggest trade partner is Brazil. Currently, there's a bit of a gap. There's a bit of a bridge between the two nations because our president is very right wing, and the president of Brazil is very left wing. So there is a bit of a bridge, a bit of a gap there. The relations with Chile have soured a bit. Their president is also left wing, and there was a bit of an incident because we installed solar panels in the Patagonia near the Chilean border, and one of the solar panels extended 3 meters into Chilean territory, and they said, take those solar panels out or we are taking them out. So there was like a whole drama because of 3 meters of a solar panel going into Chilean territory. We removed the solar panels. So like, I know we are not supposed to do that, but the whole scandal that it ensued, it was like insane to me. But yeah, international relations are not really a problem. There was someone in the Paraguayan Senate who said that they should be ready for war with Argentina. And everyone here was surprised, like, what is going on? What is Paraguay talking about war with us? Another good cross from Uruguay, but it gets cleared away and Matt Turner catches onto the ball. Like, nobody understood what was going on there when that Paraguayan senator said we had to be ready for a war with Argentina. Like, what? Bro, nobody threatened you. What is going on? Facts, Kevin. Who does the runner-up and winner of this group play in the knockouts? So that is they're gonna play the ones from Group D, which we're gonna see who will be tomorrow. We're gonna be doing a watch-along for Colombia and Brazil. Colombia only need a point to top the group, and if they top the group, currently they would be playing Panama, and Brazil would be playing against Uruguay. If Brazil wins, they top the group and they play Panama, and we have Uruguay-Colombia in the quarterfinals. Would Bielsa ever come back to Argentina? Bielsa is such a controversial coach here in Argentina. You either love him or hate him. There's no in between. And I feel like it's pretty 50-50 between the people who love him and people who hate him. Everyone rates him as a coach, but I don't know for the national team. And that disaster that he had in 2002 just kind of stained his whole career with the national team, even though he did great in other areas. He had the best record in qualifiers for a while, until very recently in 2022 it was broken. won the Olympic gold and stuff, but that 2002 just ruined what is a stain that will never be erased for him and the national team. And also I think that we're probably not moving on from Scaloni for a long time, basically until he decides to go, until he decides to step aside. And I don't think that Bielsa is going to be the first man that we're going to go for whenever Scaloni decides to leave. What is going on? This ref has lost control of the game. Yeah, it's been pretty insane with how many times the play has stopped. Like, there needs to be a lot of stoppage time for this first half after how many times the play was interrupted because of fouls, clashes and stuff. How many teams are needed? So top 3 are through, but we're 5 teams in a group for a World Cup format. If I'm not mistaken, isn't there a round of 32 for World Cup 2026? That's insane for player fatigue. Yeah, it's insane. There is a round of 32, so now to win a World Cup, you need to win 8 games. 8 games. And the span of time between those games has not increased. Like, I think the next World Cup is going to be a month and a week long. And you have to play 8 games. Like, the schedule is going to be insane. The players are going to be fatigued AF at that World Cup after coming from a long season in Europe. The injuries are going to start to pile up at that World Cup. It's going to be insane. I don't know what FIFA are doing with that. It was very weird. Just adding more games for money. Money talks. De La Cruz is going to put a cross into the box. Here comes Uruguay. That was not a good cross, but Uruguay retained possession. Let's see Oliveira, who just came in. Ooh, that was a good cross, but Darwin fails to keep that on target, and it's out for a goal kick for the US. Your president plays right wing. That's a good one. Funnily enough, he was an amateur footballer. He played in the lower divisions of Independiente, and his dream was to be a footballer. But he wasn't a right winger, he was a goalkeeper. So our current president's first dream was to be a goalkeeper, but now he's instead a president, I suppose. I mean, there is no best third place team like the Euros, just perfectly even format where all top 3 go through. I'm not sure what would be the amount of teams required for that format. Yep, 12 groups of 4, 24 teams of plus 8 third place teams will be the round of 32. Yeah, it's insane. Bielsa could be like Van Gaal in 2022. Van Gaal is just the most overrated coach in football history. I'll probably be head of at halftime. All right, fair enough, Matt. Still, thank you for staying up and checking out the stream. I know that it's pretty late for you, but thanks for making the effort for being here. Balogun is down, and apparently he's crying. It looks like he's injured, and this is really bad news for the US because they're losing their main man up top, and Ricardo Pepi is gonna have to come on. This sucks because Balogun had an amazing performance against Panama, which obviously was for nothing, sadly. And now Balogun unable to continue. Pepi is going to have to step up. He's been having a poor Copa America so far, but maybe it's the time he redeems himself in this game. The biggest occasion of all, Ricardo Pepi being subbed in for following Balogun. Leeds fans absolutely love Marcelo Bielsa. Oh yeah, like obviously. Leeds have been in the championship for how long? And Bielsa, and they weren't even competitive in the championship. And Bielsa first got him to like a promotion, I think semi-final. And then to promotion itself. Back to the Premier League. And he was doing fine in the Premier League as well. Until he was not doing fine anymore. And he got sacked. And they tried that with American project with Jesse Marsh, and it didn't work like at all. They did fine in the beginning, but it quickly collapsed and Leeds went back down. Nunez needs 50 chances to score a goal, for fuck's sake. Yep, that is Darwin for you. But for Uruguay, he seems to be a bit of a different beast. That feels super bad for Balogun that he has to get subbed out like that. Remember everyone to leave a like on the stream. Liking the stream helps it get recommended to other people. So if you're enjoying the content, leave a like on the stream. It helps me a lot. And subscribe if you're not subscribed to not miss out on any more Copa America content that we'll be making. Tomorrow we'll be here at the same time for Brazil against Colombia to see who ends up topping Group D and who is the last team. Well, I was going to say who is the last team to qualify to the quarterfinals, but it's going to be Brazil. They are not mathematically qualified, but they are going to qualify. Yes, they also loved his carcal and mentality. Carcal is crazy. Uruguay driving forward. Rivera puts in a cross, gets cleared away by Team Rim, but Uruguay hold possession. Personality, right, personality. The scoreline hasn't moved on the other game. It's still 1-0 to Panama. So the USA are either hoping that Bolivia find an equalizer or they can find a goal somehow to take the lead. However, here comes Uruguay. Darwin. De la Cruz puts in a cross. Pelistri straight up missed the target. He was all alone. That cross went all over the... Oh, here comes the USA. Hold on. Not even have time to commentate on that. Pulisic, escaping down the wing, puts in a cross. Saved by Rochet. Contained by Rochet. Bro, that cross from Nico de la Cruz went over the heads of all the American back line, and Anthony Robinson was nowhere to be seen. I swear, Anthony Robinson is so bad defensively. He didn't man-mark Pelistri. Pelistri appeared all alone on that right-hand side and had a shot completely alone and straight up missed the target. And in the counter-attack, the USA hit it with Pulisic on the right wing, but the cross wasn't good enough. The ref for this game and the France versus Belgium game need to be inducted. The ref for Belgium-France was pretty bad. It seemed like he was favoring Belgium in the first half, and then trying to compensate for it, he began favoring France in the second half. This ref has not been great either. But to be fair, has there been a single good refereeing performance at the Copa America? There have been a few decent ones. There has truly been a good refereeing performance at the Copa America somehow. Bro, that was such a bad miss from Pelistri. He hit that so wrong. Who's been more disappointing this Copa, Mexico, Chile, or USA if they get grouped? Chile didn't score a goal and barely looked threatening at all in all 3 games that they played. Mexico, I was low-key expecting them to do this bad, but they also only scored a single goal against Jamaica, who are awful. Against Ecuador and Venezuela, they had all the chances in the world and they could never capitalize. But I don't think Mexico were that disappointing. USA, if they get grouped, look, it was only one unlucky game against Panama where they had a very early red card. But it's about it. In tournament, you cannot have those bad days. You go out. I think that Chile were the most disappointing by far. Maybe not by far, but definitely the most disappointing of the 3 if they all get grouped. But it's a bad look for the US to lose that game at home against Panama, no matter the circumstances. Thoughts on Slot? LFC new manager. Look, I don't expect him to be the new Klopp. I feel like it's going to be extremely hard for anybody to match what Klopp did at Liverpool. I'm going to give Slot time. My expectations for next season is to make top 4. and maybe have a decent run in the Champions League, like quarterfinals or something. If he can meet those expectations, I'm gonna be happy. And just trust the process and hope the board give him the players that he wants and that he can develop into something good over the years. But you need to give managers time. It cannot be like you need immediate expectations of a manager. Yeah, plus 5 minutes of stoppage time is crazy. Should have been like 8 with how much the play was stopped with all the players on the pitch falling down, clashing against each other, having concussions, Max Araujo being subbed out. I feel like 8 or 9 minutes would have been fair. Czechia versus Turkey ref was terrible. Agreed. That red card seemed very rushed. Way too many yellow cards for things that weren't a yellow. Yep. He was trying to be the protagonist, a bit like Mateu Lejos in that quarterfinal game against between Argentina and Netherlands. I hate those kind of refs. Chile would still be out with better refereeing. Class A. Inductment Class A would be a bit easy. Chile couldn't score in a brothel. They could go to... Never mind. I'm not going to complete that sentence. For me, the best ref overall is the one who people say he looks like Lewandowski. It's the one who was today at the Portugal-Slovenia game, right? Orsato? Is that the guy who looks like Lewandowski? Daniel Orsato? Monday morning, 6 a.m. sharp. Maybe I'm not gonna read the comments where you are like just chatting between you guys. Alright, halftime between Bolivia and Panama. 1-0 win for Panama so far. And I think it's gonna be halftime pretty soon for this game as well. We only have 2 minutes to go, but now there's someone else down. Darwin Núñez got a yellow card. So we're gonna see if an extra minute gets added on. As it stands, the USA are going out in the group stage at the Copa America because Panama is beating Bolivia, so the USA must win this game if they want to progress. Rank, do you wake up early to watch European games? No. The earliest kickoff, during the group stage was at 10 a.m. So I wasn't really waking up early. I just had to wake up like at 9:30 or maybe like at 10 p.m. and just turn on the TV immediately to watch the game. So I didn't have to wake up early. Now the games are at 1 p.m. and 4 p.m. So it's like very comfy times. And many days for example, today I woke up early to go to college and I came back just in time to catch the Belgium-France game at 1 p.m. So like the time zones for football are really good here in South America. For European football, we get to watch European football in the morning and afternoon and then watch our own football in the evening and at night. It's very comfy. I only miss out on Asian football. Asian football is like the one thing that it's like impossible for me. Yes, the one at Portugal versus Slovenia. Yeah, Daniel Orsato. Italiano. Perché amarela? No, amarela is Portuguese. That's a brick. RIP Australian football fans. Yeah, I'm not gonna wake up to watch Melbourne SFC against Auckland City. Auckland is from New Zealand, I know, but maybe AFC Champions League tags. Let's see. Is it a good cross into the box for Pepe? Cleared away. USA keeping the ball. Apparently the refs has given an additional minute of time to play on, but the game is getting pretty scrappy in the midfield currently. That ref is retiring after the Euros, which is sad. Then Italian refs. Italian refs have like a good reputation because of Perluigi. What was his name again? That like Italian ref who was like very feared. It's halftime, by the way. And then Orsato. But I have like a bad relationship with Italian refs because of the World Cup final in 2014. Who even was that ref? World Cup 2014. Who was the ref in the final? Let's see. Pierluigi Golina, yeah. Pierluigi Golina was the Italian ref that everyone rates as probably one of the best referees of all time, if not the best. But like I said, even though Italian referees have like a good reputation, I had a bad Nicola Rizzoli. Nicola Rizzoli was the referee of the World Cup final in 2014, and I was like super mad at him for that performance. So I never ended up forgiving Italian refs. So halftime thoughts. The USA were pretty good at the start. They created a few chances. They had the initiative. It looked like they wanted to go get Uruguay. But after that, it seemed like they ran out of gas and Uruguay began creating more chances. They looked more threatening. Even without Maxi Araujo, they still had a lot of width down the wings. And I think that Uruguay has been the better side so far, but not like overwhelmingly enough to deserve to be leading or anything. The US have managed to hit at times on the counter, but not having Balogun is such a huge blow for the US because he was a huge card in the offense, in the hold-up play, everything. And now they're stuck with Pepe, who is a good finisher. He scored a lot of goals. He was the top goal scorer in their way to qualifying to Qatar 2022, but he's not been great in this Copa America. He's not been in the greatest form at club level either, and he just doesn't seem as potent and as powerful as Balogun, as useful when being on the pitch. He's just sort of that reference striker that you want to have, but I don't know, it hasn't looked the best. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna add the other game, the scoreboard for Panama Bolivia. Let's see, let me cut this. And let's place it over here. Just so we know how that game is going. Maybe a bit bigger. Maybe something like that. Just so we know how that game is going. As it stands with this result over here, Panama are qualifying in second place to the quarterfinals, and they'll be playing whoever finishes top between Colombia and Brazil. Meanwhile, the United States of America are exiting the group stage. They need to win against Uruguay to advance. Not much to say on the game because it was the game was stopped many times with how many players were down injured, with concussions, with collisions and stuff. It was just a very physical game. We didn't see a lot of combination play going on. Yeah, the game was pretty scrappy in the midfield. We saw a few turnovers, a few counterattacks, a few good crosses into the box, but so far not much to separate these two teams, which explains the scoreline, but that obviously works in the benefit of Uruguay, who are topping the group with this result, obviously. and in detriment of the USA who are being eliminated. Rank, how old are you? I'm 21. I turned 22 in October. October 6th is my birthday, in case you're interested. Darwin Nunez sees all those red seats. He thinks it's Anfield. That would explain why he hasn't scored so far. That would explain a lot, Desertun. Desertun, are you still hopeful about the US chances? Because you predicted 2-1 for America. That was like the exact wording of that prediction. Are you still confident that without Balogun, the US can get 2 goals? Let alone win this game. You're older than HH. True, HH is 19. Damn, I feel old now. I'm a total boomer, by the way. Total boomer. I don't know how to stream. I don't know how to click any buttons. Technology scares me. I should have boomer takes like that. I just, just have boomer takes as a joke and laugh at younger people for getting mad about it. That is gonna be my new life goal. Pretend that I'm a boomer. I believe Elijah is having like a half-time space. We're gonna check on Elijah whenever he comes back to see what his thoughts were about that first half. I can imagine that he's not really happy with the ref or with how the US are playing so far. Considering that they need a win. A win and nothing else. That is the only thing that is gonna work for them. Yes, need to get Josh Sargent. He was good for Norwich City. Would you rather bring on Josh Sargent or Haji Wright? We haven't seen Haji Wright yet. I was very surprised to see Sargent be the first option after Pepe off the bench in that game against Panama. Like when things got desperate, he called upon Sargent before Haji Wright, and I would have expected Haji Wright to have priority. He seems to be a man that Greg trusts, especially since he took him to the World Cup when nobody rated him. He scored that game against the Netherlands. He has more World Cup knockout goals than Ronaldo. And yet, once he has a good season with Country City, he's not even the third choice striker for the US. Or I guess you could even play Haji Wright on the wing and drop Gio Reyna to the cam. That would be another option. And you can sub out McKennie or Adams. You can sub out Adams if he's not entirely fit, but McKennie would be the most logical substitution. I'm saying this, I know it sounds like very suicidal to bring on another offensive player and replace a midfielder, but I'm just thinking that the USA has to win this game, so they have to find goals somewhere. Why did Sleepy Joe make Copa America coast to coast? Not sure. Sleepy Joe he's a special man. Wasn't he like really good at golfing? That was like the only thing that I got from that debate. That Joe is like very good at golf. I have my Biden moments as well. Um, Whenever I have to set the clock for the um, for whenever play resumes, um, whenever I have to set up the stream, I have my Biden moments. Araujo in his element, just WWE tackles. Doesn't Araujo look like a WWE fighter? Like for real, for real? Doesn't he look like he would fit with the boys? I feel like he wouldn't be out of place. He could have like a tiger mask and be like a stereotypical Mexican fighter, despite the fact that he's from Uruguay, but just be like extremely racist about it because it's like the only Hispanic person in the US, so he has to be Mexican. Am I going overboard with that one? But you can see just how physical the game is in CONMEBOL. Very few yellow cards. How many yellow cards have we had so far? Honestly. Let me check in on the other browser. How many yellow cards have we had in this game so far? Three yellow cards. Tyler Adams, Chris Richards, and Darwin Nunez. Uruguay has committed 8 fouls and only got a single yellow card. 6 fouls committed by the USA. But just the intensity of the tackles, and yet like only 3 yellow cards. Like for real. Referees in CONMEBOL, you need to murder someone to get a yellow card here. It's insane. Yeah, Elijah was doing like his own thingy for the thingy. Wait, it's my anniversary on X? Ugh. I've been on X for I don't know how many years. All my days. HH is also making his halftime space. You literally need to nuke someone to get a yellow card in Copa America. The difference in physicality, speed, and intensity from yours is crazy. That's insane. Like, that's exactly what I was talking about. And HH has just made a tweet about it. But yeah, it's like we're always like in the same page when it comes to that. I don't know how Pelistri missed that chance. I'm just reading tweets, but yeah. Welcome, Quiet Librarian, to the stream. Thank you so much for joining. I think it's the first time I see you around, so welcome to the stream. Remember to like and subscribe if you enjoy the content, but thank you so much for being here. When all else fails, we blame Berhalter. Exactly, like Berhalter is the only man to blame here. The players are guilty of nothing. The Copa America is like watching Getafe. Hold on, let me fix my stream. All right, we are close to the restart of the game. It looks like here Bolivia and Panama. Wait, boomer moment, Biden moment. Bolivia and Panama has already resumed, so that game is probably gonna end before this one. What have you made of Ecuador? I feel like they've been super disappointing with the squad they have. Yeah, definitely. I feel like Felix Sanchez has this team playing much worse football than they can. Against Venezuela, they had a pretty good game for like a solid 60 minutes, even being a man down. Ecuador were playing great and got the lead against Venezuela, but then it feels like Felix Sanchez told the team to go a bit too defensive, and Venezuela were able to capitalize on it and score those 2 goals to make the comeback. Against Jamaica, they played a fantastic first half, and it almost went to shit again in the second half when they went to defensive. And against Mexico, they played for the draw, and it almost costed them because Mexico were pretty close to getting a goal that would have eliminated Ecuador from the Copa America. So yeah, this Ecuador side is just being too defensive and doesn't seem to have the character to play like that, to just play, get results football and stuff. It doesn't seem to be the style that fits them. They have players who are great on the ball. They should be able to hold possession a lot more against this type of opposition, but they don't for some reason. It's very weird. Felix Sanchez seems to assume that Ecuador are always going to be underdogs and that they need to play this style. So I think that Ecuador have been pretty disappointing, but I still think they will give a very tough game to Argentina. Our recent encounters have been pretty close. We only beat them 1-0 in a friendly recently and in the World Cup qualifiers as well. And we needed like a moment of magic. They didn't really threaten us offensively. Like our defense wasn't tested against them at all. So I'm hopeful that we're not going to concede that many chances against Ecuador, but we need to actually score our goals. Because that has been the main thing at this Copa America for Argentina, that we played very good games, but we failed to score many goals. We have only scored 2 past Canada when we had 3 one-on-ones that we missed. We only scored 1 against Chile with multiple chances, and it was like a late winner as well. And we only scored 2 against Peru, who were awful. We missed a penalty as well. So we need to bury away our chances. We were using our B team against Peru, I know, but we need to actually score our chances. That is the main thing for Argentina. If we score our chances, I think we're going to beat everyone. But... Oh! No, Reina! McKennie, why didn't he shoot first? Oh my god, he forgot the ball. McKennie had a massive opportunity on the edge of the box to fire his shot, and he took a bit too long, and once he tried it, it was so wide, it was so bad. Oh my days. So yeah, Argentina-Ecuador, I expect is going to be extremely close. Very tight game, but we should be winning because Ecuador, like I said, haven't really tested us defensively. Going forward, they are not great. Their build-up play looks horrible with Felix Sanchez. So I expect us to win, but it's going to be a narrow margin again. We need to score our chances. That is the main thing. Darwin needs braids to play well. Let's see. USA, what do you got? Seems like they're trying to play more direct now. Let's see if it works. They lose possession on that one. Are we gonna have an emergency stream? Is this gonna happen? Are we bound for a disaster? I can't believe that HH is actually staying this late, but this is what content crack is about. I don't need to stay up. I need to I mean, it's gonna be midnight when the game finishes, but if there is a hangout, I need to stay up for that. And I know I have college tomorrow, but I couldn't care less. I need to be in that hangout to kind of roast the US for getting grouped in their own tournament. Uruguay needs shorter passing to keep possession, otherwise these passion merchants will score. Yeah, Uruguay hasn't really looked sharp. It feels like they are falling into the game that the US wants to play. They haven't been really... The midfield is invisible for Uruguay. I feel like Fede Valverde is having a pretty bang average Copa America so far, and bang average against Panama and Bolivia. Like, you need to shine against those kind of teams. Fede Valverde has been ghosting, I feel like. Ugarte, being good, not as good as in other games. The other midfielder, usually either De Arrascaeta or... De Arrascaeta didn't have a good game against Panama. De La Cruz has been like Uruguay's best midfielder. Ooh! Is that a save from Turner? No, it was just a straight up miss from Matias Viña. Another good cross from Nico De La Cruz. I was just talking about him. Matias Viña attempts the header. And yeah, it just goes wide. But pretty close chance for Uruguay there. But yeah, Uruguay looking more mortal than usual. This doesn't really feel like David against Goliath, like they were making it sounding before. Probably because Uruguay don't really have much to play for, but they definitely still want to win, right? We're gonna see if the US managed to capitalize on Uruguay not looking as sharp. You know what would be funny? If Bolivia scores. If Bolivia scores, that would be incredibly funny now. They haven't scored at all this Copa America. 0 goals against the USA and 0 goals against Uruguay. I guess that was to be expected. If they were to score now in this game, what do you do if you're the US? You go defensive again? No way, right? No way, right? You still have to go for the goal in case that Panama get a last minute winner or something. Ooh. Nandes playing with fire. The US pressing very high up and Rochette has to clear it away. But the pressing from the US, very effective there. They lose possession though. But Nandes was playing with fire on that one, trying to play out from the back. Darwin tries to fight between the center backs but doesn't manage to break through. Viña goes forward so much, man. Shot from distance. Goes out. Fede Valverde not gonna hit the target on that one. Let's see the US on the counter now. No, my stream is buffering. No, goddamn stream, don't buffer like that. The US have a good chance. Is it good now? The US wasted that chance, it seems. Okay, it seems like the stream is fine now. That was annoying. Give Valverde a long shot or he retires. Yep. He always tried to score those bangers. And to his credit, he has scored many bangers, but like... Yeah, if you try 5 of those every game, eventually you're gonna score a banger. But it's gonna look great on his compilation once he retires. No, but for real, for the quality player that Valverde is, he needs to do better in this Copa America. He doesn't feel like the leader that Uruguay needs. She should be dictating everything that Uruguay does in the midfield, and it doesn't feel that way. Okay, I think I'm gonna change streams again. Like, this is so annoying. Alright, let's see if this stream doesn't buffer now. Oh yeah. This would be big morale kill for football, soccer enjoyment in the US if they go out in the group stage of this tournament before they host the World Cup. That is a good argument that I hadn't thought about. Like, what is the public gonna think if they go out to Uruguay and Panama, which most of the public doesn't know that Uruguay are actually one of the best nations in the world at football, but if you ask like 80% of Americans don't know where Uruguay is in the map, they would probably think it's in Africa or something. So it would really affect their morale. I feel like they would be like, bro, we are trash. Like, why should I care about this tournament, about this sport that I don't care about if we are this bad? Valverde needs Eibar and Levante. The worst thing is that not so many people probably care about the tournament here, no matter what happens. Yep. I mean, we're seeing now the Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City, and it's like half empty. We're gonna see Berhalter make another substitution. Escali looks like he's okay. He had to come out for a second to get medical relief. The fans in the stadiums look like they don't care. The atmosphere has not been the best at this Copa America, mainly because most of the fans are not really from that country, but are just immigrants living in the US. And they don't feel the game the same way that the actual people from that country feel. Like, oh, here comes Pelistri on the right wing. He escaped off Anthony Robinson, who's been having a disaster class defensively. It's going to be a goal kick, says the referee, even though Pelistri appeals for a corner. For example, the first two Argentina games, the atmosphere was awful because most of the fans were just people from other countries with Messi's shirt. Meanwhile, the game in Miami, where there are a lot more Argentinians, felt like an Argentina game because the fans are actually from Argentina and they knew the chants, you know, they knew the style of the lifestyle of the Argentinian fan, and the atmosphere was much better in that last game against Peru in Miami. The other ones just didn't have the same feel to it. We play in Houston next, and we're gonna see if Texas is any different. De la Cruz gets dispossessed. The ref says it's a foul. USA, tic tac. We're gonna see what in this next substitution for Greg is, if it can change the outcome of this game at all, or what's gonna happen there. What's your opinion on the football fields on the US and this Copa America? They're trash. Half of them look awful. This one looks awful. Like the one in our debut game against Canada, the Mercedes-Benz in Atlanta, was a disgrace. It was like most of these stadiums, because they are used for NFL, they are turf. And CONMEBOL requires all of the Copa America games to be played on grass. So they replaced the turf with grass. But in some cases, they just placed layers of grass on top of the turf. And it looks awful. And the ball bounces differently. Whenever you step on it, it's differently. Like it can cause injuries. It can be really, really bad. And this one in Kansas doesn't look any different. It looks really, really bad. And it's unacceptable that for a major competition like the Copa America, you have pitches that are this bad just because you change the pitch at the last minute. You change it from turf to grass at the final minute. That is, one, poor organization from the US, and second, negligence from CONMEBOL, risking their players like that by allowing this to happen and by not checking the pitches properly before the tournament actually begins. No, the pitches situation is disgraceful. And big players should complain about it more. The Argentinians have complained about it, but I want to see like from other teams like Brazil, Colombia, Uruguay complain about the pitches, because it's your health. Like you can get injured because of being in the wrong pitch, and yeah, it's the player's health which is at risk by playing in pitches like this. JGP, thank you so much for joining again. Boludo, no me dijiste que éramos familia. Me dijo después mi vieja. No me dijiste nada, pero yo pensando que eras un extraño. Nada, man. I hope they change it for the World Cup. In '94 they had a different system that really worked. Yeah, today we had a press conference with Sergio Vázquez, who played with the national team and attended the 1994 World Cup, was selected for the squad. And yeah, he said that in the '94 World Cup, the pitches were fantastic, and this Copa America is a disgrace. I was taking a page from him when saying that players need to speak up about the issue more. I hope the US learns from these awful football fields and improves in the 2026 World Cup. Yeah, definitely. The pitches need to be better at the World Cup. I know that FIFA is more, they check this stuff out more because they don't want their tournament to look bad, so they have to check that everything looks perfect for the World Cup. It's just shameful from CONMEBOL's perspective to just not be aware enough of the dangers of playing in a pitch like this. CONMEBOL is after the money, and USA is the only country in the world where football makes money. Yep, exactly. Money talks. That's exactly what I said on my history of the Copa America video at the end. If we're gonna see more partnerships between the USA and CONMEBOL, I feel like CONMEBOL is gonna host a lot more tournaments in the US if it's gonna be this profitable for them. Hello Eri, hello Pookie. Ole ole, Panama, Uruguay. The hate watch for Pookie is on after Mexico got eliminated. I'm happy with performance, just need a goal. Yeah, but where are you gonna get a goal from? It's not like the USA has looked exactly threatening so far in this game. Scary times for you? Yep. Last time Messi went to Houston, he scored a free kick versus the USA. That is true. That was in that stadium. I'll send a message to Trump. It's because of me. Bolivia. Has Bolivia scored? It hasn't updated here yet. Oh, there it is. There's a goal. Okay, just because if the game is the game that I'm not watching, I'll let it slide, Elijah. But just a reminder that the pinned comment says no spoilers in chat. Wait until I see something. Wait until my reaction to type something in the chat. I'm gonna let it slide because it's the game that I'm not watching. But for next time, no spoilers in the chat. Wait for my reaction to see something happen. Oof, Darwin Núñez really fighting with the center backs there to try and regain possession. The pressing is too intense from Uruguay at times. I'm sorry, no, don't worry. But just for the next time, wait for my reaction. That is the whole point of the watch-along. Like, the watch-along is happening for you guys to see my reaction to the game. So, like, if I get spoiled, the reaction kind of gets ruined. So, okay, so Bolivia equalized. The US are going through with these results. But this is not comfortable at all. There's still a lot of time to play. And I know that Panama is going to go for a second. And so the US, they are checking the phones now. They are realizing that Bolivia has equalized and that they are qualifying. But they cannot depend on Bolivia to make it through. They really can't. They're going to play World Cup games at this stadium while they need to improve the pitches. Like, they have to change it to grass properly. Oh, what a save, Turner! Oh no! Oh no, USA! Just when you were getting a glimmer of hope, reality hits like a truck. And from a set piece, great cross from Nico de la Cruz, as always, clinical with his technique. Oliveira scores to give Uruguay the lead. The rebound of the header, they are appealing for offside. We're gonna have to check it. It was a poor clearance from Matt Turner after the header. And Oliveira scores an easy tap in. We're gonna see if he's offside. But for now, it's 1-0 to Uruguay, and the US were, for a few moments, qualifying in second place, and now they are back down to third. But if you see the fields where they play soccer, they are great. But they only host 20,000 people. Yeah, it doesn't have the same attention. You have to play the World Cup at these bigger stadiums, but you actually have to make sure that the quality of the pitches is there. Do you watch MLS? Good football. Yeah, I watch MLS. The Inter Miami games, mainly. It's not the highest quality of football, but it's very entertaining. Like, for the spectacle and the show, it's pretty good. So far, USA qualifying, well, not anymore. And it will make the side of the groups more hard. Are you doing a stream tomorrow for Colombia, Brazil? Yes, we're going live at the same, tomorrow, same hour, 9 p.m. EST, to watch Brazil against Colombia to see who tops Group D. Oh, that looks offside. After the header, that looks offside. That has to be offside. The goal is gonna get disallowed. News travels fast, offside. This is comedic. As soon as Bolivia score as well. It's not a spoiler, it's what I think from what I saw. Yeah, you're saying might be saved. I believe in you. Off rank. It looks offside to me. That looks offside to me. Will Inter Miami need a real DT? Tata Martino has been a bit of a roller coaster for Inter Miami so far. I rate Martino as a coach, but for Inter Miami hasn't really worked. I think we need to sign more defenders. Usually our defense is what lets us down. Because offensively, obviously, we have all the talent, but defensively, we're often exposed many times. And Calendar sometimes looks like Prime Buffon, and sometimes he makes the biggest howlers. He's a weird guy. They should have a semi-automatic offside here. It's not like the USA is poor or anything, but CONMEBOL is too greedy. He's given the goal! Goal confirmed! Oh my! Goal is confirmed. No offside. Oh, that looked offside to me. You're gonna have to show me a replay drawing the lines to convince me that that wasn't offside. But the goal has been given, so yes, Uruguay is leading. And we're back to square one. Another robbery. Oh my god, here we go again. Here we go again after Panama. Now we're getting robbed again against Uruguay. It's insane. I think it was offside. That looked offside to me. We're gonna have to wait for the replay where they actually draw the lines to confirm that it was actually offside. That looked weird. But like I said, we're back to square one. Like, we went basically the entire game saying the USA has to score or they're going out because Panama is winning. The USA has to score, the USA has to score. Bolivia score, and the US is qualifying. And like 1 or 2 minutes later, Uruguay scores. And now we're back to square one, where the US again need a goal. That's extremely tough for the US. Sleepy Joe gonna nuke Uruguay. Bro, a single nuke probably erases the whole of Uruguay. Not even kidding. It's smaller than... I was gonna say it's smaller than the metropolitan area of New York, but I don't know if that's true. It's probably smaller than the state of New York. Crazy decision. I want to see the replay. Josh Sargent is gonna come on. Worse than square one. Yeah, it's probably worse than square one because there's still the possibility that Panama scored at any moment and suddenly USA will need 2 goals instead of 1. It's actually worse than square one. You're right about that one. But can't win. Se puede ganar, boludo. And now the Uruguayan players start having cramps. So convenient. They start cramping up. So convenient. Okay, Matias Viña gonna get subbed out. I imagine that Oliveira is gonna move to the left back and Jose Maria Jimenez as the center back. Again, Haji Wright is there, but brings off someone else. Exactly, like, I don't understand. How is Josh Sargent ahead of Haji Wright in the pecking order? That is what's weird to me. Yunus Musa subbed out. Okay, I guess that makes sense. And Josh Sargent is in. And you move Gio Reyna to the 10 or something. What do you do in that situation? I guess that's what you do. But like... how is Josh Sargent ahead of Haji Wright in the pecking order? That is so weird. The hope is Bolivia. So like we're banking on Bolivia to win their game. Like that's how low the US have fallen. USA divided by 0 in this tournament. Wait, so if Bolivia score again, do the US go through? I think so. That is the math, right? Math doesn't lie. Let's check the table again. Oh my days. Yes, if Bolivia had won, the US would have gone through, but now Panama has gotten a second. Panama has scored a second. It won't update here for a while, I think. Panama has a second. Let's see the replay from the VAR. They are showing it. Wow! What? That is extremely tight. I can't believe that was onside. If they use the automatic offside, like they did between Denmark and Germany, I promise you that's offside. I promise you that's offside. The only reason that's not offside is because there's no automatic offside. That was extremely tight. Like the lines were overlapping. The only reason that wasn't offside is because there's no automatic offside. Which, you know, I actually like. I don't think that if it's that close of an offside, you're taking any advantage. But it's weird that if you have the tools to rule it out, you rule it out. But if you don't have the tools, it's not offside. Isn't that extremely weird? That depending on which tools you have to detect an offside. Yes, but no hope. Something happened in the other game. I know, I already know. That is also a spoiler, by the way, so don't do that. Don't tell me that something happened in the other game. USA tried but couldn't. They're cooked. Not even the USA can rig this on home soil. Grouped on home soil is so embarrassing. It is. It is because the competition was Panama. Panama was the competition. It wasn't like you were in a group of death or something. Panama was your competition, was your rival from this group. And you lost to them. At home. It's over. The US need 2 goals. And it looks very unlikely that they'll even score 1. Again, that offside call. Crazy how they didn't score off that when Rochet had to come off his line. Pulisic trying with the long range distance, but every Uruguayan dived in front of that to prevent that goal from going in. First Josema Jimenez and then Nathan Hernandez clearing it off the line. It's insane. It's insane that that wasn't offside. It was so close. I swear, the fact that the Denmark goal got disallowed by half a toenail, it tells me that if there was automatic offside, they probably would have found a body part that was offside there for Uruguay, and the goal wouldn't have stood. But because we don't have automatic offside, the goal stands because they see that the lines are overlapping and they are like, that's not an advantage really, so it's a goal. Which I like. I feel like that's how VAR should be implemented. Unless it's an egregious mistake, don't correct it. Denmark's goal, yes, it's technically by the rule of it, it's offside, but that cannot be offside. You are not gaining an advantage by half a toenail. It's crazy. Because the edge of the boot is offside. That is insane. De la Cruz fires from distance. And Turner makes that save. USA, the time is running low. And they said South Africa were bums for beating France and Mexico and still getting grouped. Well, they didn't beat France and Mexico. Because if they had beaten both, they wouldn't have gotten grouped. I believe they drew with Mexico in the opening game and they... Did they beat France? I believe they beat France and they got grouped on 4 points. Qatar are the true bombs. The USA have that Qatar settings turned on, yep. USA is better than Panama and it deserved to qualify. The MLS league is growing. USA in 94 didn't even have a league and USA plays with no pressure. Maybe it's a good learning lesson for the World Cup 2026. Maybe, but on the other hand, it may send the US into a turmoil. There may be chaos now. We're probably gonna see Greg get sacked and we have to see if whoever comes in is gonna make a difference. Rodrigo Bentancur is gonna get subbed in for Uruguay and I think finally Haji Wright is gonna come in now that the US need 2 goals to advance. I like the coach, I like the league. Do you like Greg? Most Americans don't like Greg. MLS is entertaining, but it's not the highest level of football, to be fair. I don't think MLS is. It's a competitive league because every team is able to beat any team. Any team gives you a good game in MLS. All the teams are pretty close among each other. but the level is not high. The level is not high in MLS. It's very entertaining. Like, there are lots of goals, but mostly down to defensive mistakes and stuff. There are a lot of quality players going forward, but not that many good defenders. Nico de la Cruz, again, another assist, or pre-assist, I suppose. Rodrigo Bentancur, the Tottenham player, being subbed in. Meanwhile, for the US, need to see which substitution they made, but I think that Haji Wright is now on the pitch. Joe Scally being subbed out. So yeah, it's time for the back three. Just try and all-in attack. We're going to see a cross into the box by Pulisic. That was a bad cross, and it's an easy catch for Rochet. They will do better. South Africa drew 1-1 to Mexico, lost 3-0 to Uruguay, and beat France 2-1. Out on goal difference. That makes sense, yeah. Mexico must have qualified in second place on 4 points too. France really flopped at that World Cup, but they had like that drama with Anelka. I remember Anelka being kicked out of the squad during the World Cup because of falling out with the coach and that drama, and they simply boomed out of the World Cup after making a World Cup final in 2006. Well, have Panama ever qualified to the knockouts of a major tournament? Great achievement for them. I mean, they were in the Gold Cup final last year, if you want to count the Gold Cup as a major tournament. Have they ever done anything in Copa America? Let me check. Quick Googling session. Resultados, statistics. No, they only played in Copa America Centenario. They won 1 game, lost 2 games, got grouped. So this is the first time that they are qualifying. In their second ever appearance, they are qualifying to the knockouts of the Copa America. Insane. And they've lost 3 Gold Cup finals and have finished 3rd in 2 other occasions. But they've never won the Gold Cup either. And obviously they only made the World Cup once in 2018 where they lost all 3 games and got grouped. I feel angry, I understand you, Eddie, but this is not the game that got you eliminated. The game that got you eliminated was a game against Panama. A loss against Uruguay was expected. But the game that you couldn't afford to lose, no matter what, was that game against Panama. That was the key moment. AFA doesn't have a great league. MLS is a lot better than AFA. I don't agree. The Argentinian league... MLS is more entertaining than the Argentinian league. The Argentinian league is very hard to watch at times. But the level is still higher than MLS. I'm sure of it. I'm 100% sure of it. There are players who look finished in Primera División, go over to MLS and they're instantly start. Like Luciano Acosta was having a terrible season here with Lanús, went over to MLS and is one of the best players there. Happened with Driussi as well, who went to Austin. Pavon had a spell there. Gustavo Bou. Like, players who are pretty mid here in the Argentinian league can do great in MLS. Sargent. That is another corner. Corner for the US. I know it's a bold statement, but think about it for what they are and what they have. MLS is good. MLS is good. I'm saying the level is not the greatest. Entertainment-wise, show-wise, MLS is better than AFA. But AFA has more level than MLS, in my opinion. British Virgin Islands could probably give the US a game. The Virgin Derby is crazy between the US and the British Islands. I missed this. Did Uruguay get a goal despite the offside? Apparently it wasn't offside. They showed the replay and they drew the lines and the lines were overlapping each other. So they said, look, that is not an advantage. It's not offside. But I was saying, if there was automatic offside like in the Euros, I promise you that they would have found like a single body part that was offside, and the goal would have been ruled out. We're seeing it there again. The lines are overlapping. We don't see the other line. That's how tight the offside is. But I promise you, if there was automatic offside, the goal wouldn't have stood. Because they would have found like the tiniest bit of hair that was offside. Like we saw in the Denmark against Germany game, where the poor fella was offside by half a toenail. Like the edge of the boot was offside, and that's why it was ruled out. And that changed the game for Denmark. That ruined the game for Denmark. And I think that's not right. I think that VAR should intervene when it's an egregious mistake. So I actually agree with VAR on this one. If it's that close, it's not offside. I know that the Denmark one, it's technically offside, but you don't really take an advantage from having your boot be offside. That's why I agree with the referee on this one. If it's that close, don't call it offside. But I'm AFA, you have 3 teams, the rest are terrible. The nearest offside is offside. I don't know, man. If the lines are overlapping, you're not really taking advantage of that situation. It's not offside. Offside was invented to not allow people taking advantage of positions like that, but you're not out of position if your knee is offside. You're not taking advantage of the defender if your knee is offside. Is it technically offside? Maybe. We don't know. Oh, Luis Suarez is coming on. Oh my god. And I don't agree that AFA has 3 teams. Multiple teams are competitive in AFA. Everyone gives you a good game. I agree that there are a lot of teams that shouldn't be there. 28 teams in a league is crazy. The first division should have 20 or 18 teams. But there are many competitive teams in Argentina in the first division. It's not only 3. At least the Chilenos are not alone. Yep. Chilenos, Mexicanos y Americanos. They're gonna cross roads at the airport. Well, I guess the US don't need to go to the airports because they are already home. Chilenos y Mexicanos are gonna encounter each other at the airport, but the USA are just gonna go back home. Right, Rochet makes the save. That was a good chance for the US, but there were so many legs blocking the way that Haji Wright was never gonna get a good shot on that one. And someone else is cramping for Uruguay. The Cannibal. Panama has scored another. Oh yeah, it changed here. Boomer moment. I never even noticed. Yep. Panama got 3. I think the US still qualifies if they score 2. I'm not entirely sure. I think they only need to score 2, the US, to qualify still, but it's not gonna happen. Time is already running super low. Haji Wright, like, there I think Haji Wright should have just shot straight away without taking that first touch. Because taking that first touch allowed the defenders to block him. If you fire right away, yes, you may not get the most accurate of shots, but at least it gives you a chance. If you stop and make that first touch, you allow the defenders to actually come and block you. So, I don't know. We will talk about AFA in another stream, I'm sure of it. So Darwin Núñez being subbed out. Lucho Suarez coming in. The new generation. And the old generation, the old guard. This is in Gold Cup goofy team losing to Panama. Yeah, losing to Panama at home with your A team is crazy. Sebastián Cáceres also coming onto the pitch, replacing Ugarte. And one final substitution also going to take place for the US. Let's see what's the last substitution for the US to try and get the miracle at this point. Tim Ream subbed out. And Mark Tillman subbed in. So I guess you just put Tillman in as a center back, but also someone who can win in the air if you put in a cross. So can I have like a center back play at striker and defend with two? I think that's the plan. Oh, but USA lose the ball immediately and Suarez already has a shot. It gets blocked though. Go Suarez, go Inter Miami. Yep. That's my goat. Bentancur, great dribble. Uruguay still want more. Bentancur. Oh, Matt Turner with the save on the shot from Pelistri. And here comes USA on the counter-attack. Anthony Robinson with the long ball. It's not enough. Gets intercepted in the midfield. And Uruguay still hold possession. Oh, that's a awful foul. That should have been a yellow, but because it's CONMEBOL, that's not gonna be a yellow. Greg, Tic Tac, Sleepy Joe, and Greg Berbelly losing their jobs in 2024. That's crazy. 6 minutes of stoppage time. I'm so behind. How is the clock this behind actually? 90. The other game is already over. Panama has already won 3-1. It's over on that one. We're seeing the last bits of America on this one. The US of A are not long for this world. Yeah, if the US score 2, they qualify. They don't need 3 goals. They only need 2. Only, right? Only. Fucking hell, bro. Oh, Panama. I know that's the Canada anthem, but what the heck? Man, that offside looks... Bro. That is a controversial call if I've ever seen one. I'm not trusting those lines. Like, do they use toasters to view offsides in Copa America? Like, actually true. We don't have that automatic offside bullshit. We use toasters to check offsides. That is how we roll. Tomorrow the Copa America really starts with Colombia, Brazil. Look, the Copa America has been insane. We haven't had a single group that has been predictable. In Group A, we all expected... The most common prediction was Chile to come second of the group. A few people trusted Canada. A few crazy lunatics trusted Peru. But the most common prediction was Chile to advance second, and we saw Canada in their first ever appearance at the Copa America finish second in the group. The Group B, everyone expected Ecuador and Mexico, or Mexico and Ecuador in any order, and Venezuela topped the group on 9 points, and Ecuador and Mexico finished on 4, tied on points, battling out on the final match day. Ecuador ended up qualifying and Mexico getting grouped, basically playing at home because Mexico is like another home team playing in the US. In this group, everyone expected Uruguay to top, but everyone expected the USA to be second. And instead, Panama, of all teams, boomer moment, Panama is the one who qualified. And now in the other group, I predicted Colombia to finish first, and we're gonna see if they actually do so. But I think that Brazil to top the group would have been the expected result, and instead we see Colombia top of the group unless they lose against Brazil tomorrow, which we're gonna be doing a watch-along for. Remember to be there. And after that, the knockouts. Manchester City do 2 goals in overtime. Yeah, that's true. So did Real Madrid. USA, well, USA is not MC. Yep. At least we get a Vini disaster class tomorrow. No. Vini's gonna step up like he did against Paraguay. Vini has turned it on. He actually knows how to play for the national team now. Yes, but this cup has only 4 teams that are strong, plus the surprise team. That's it. Listen, we're up for the surprises. Yes, there may be 4 teams with realistic chances to win it, like you're saying, Colombia, Brazil, Uruguay, and Argentina. Those are like the only 4 teams with realistic chances to win it. But we're not gonna sleep on Ecuador. We're not gonna sleep on Canada. We're not gonna sleep on Venezuela, who topped the freaking group on 9 points. Canada and Venezuela surprised, exactly. Like, we cannot sleep on these teams, and they're gonna face each other in the quarterfinals. One of those teams is gonna be in the semis. Let's see. Shot from distance. Again, the Uruguayans just throwing their bodies in front of the ball to block the shot every time it comes. And the US don't get a chance to score a goal. It's Paraguay ranked? No, it's not Paraguay. It's not Paraguay. He showed up. He showed up, man. Let the man live. He didn't show up against Costa Rica. He got pocketed by a 19-year-old from the Costa Rican league. Well, he showed up against Paraguay, who are a much better team than Costa Rica. He can show up against Colombia. If he shows up for Real Madrid, he has the talent. He has to show up for Brazil. We'll see if he performs against Colombia, who are like the best team that Brazil are gonna face in this group. If he shows up against Colombia and Brazil top the group because of Vini, that is a massive statement. And it would be massive for Brazil as well because they avoid Uruguay in the quarterfinals and they play Panama instead. But it will be over in quarterfinals, Canada versus Venezuela. Messi is watching, Messi is waiting. Yes, sir. We're gonna see how Messi is gonna perform, if he's gonna be suffering from his injury. Here comes Uruguay in the counter-attack. If they want, they could get a second here. It gets intercepted, but it's probably gonna be the last ball of the game and it's not gonna be enough for the US. They lose possession and that is it. The ref is gonna look at his watch. Temur Awin flicks. Wow, oh my god, Patrick. I'm so sorry, my dude. But it looks like the Stars and Stripes are not gonna make it through. The ref blows his whistle and it's over. The United States of America have gotten grouped in their own Copa America. A single win against Bolivia is all they had to show for in this tournament. Then losses to Panama and Uruguay, eliminating them from the tournament. The hosts are out. It's a sad day. Congratulations to Uruguay, top of the group with 9 points, commanding all the way through. See you next time, JGP. We're gonna be here tomorrow for Colombia against Brazil for the last game of the group stage, and after that we're gonna be doing watch-alongs for all of the group, for all of the quarterfinals, for all of the knockout games, starting with Argentina against Ecuador on July 4th. A patriotic day, but a patriotic day for the US that is going to be very sad considering that they are not going to be advancing to the knockouts on this one. Maybe we can chat before the game, maybe. Ole, 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 another successful hate watch for Buki. Big up, Musa. Thank you everyone who joined. Remember, if you haven't done so already, hit the like button on your way out. It would mean a lot to me for the stream to get recommended to other people, for the channel to get recommended to other people. Thank you so much for joining this watch along. It was pretty fun. Sadly, the US are not advancing. I feel like tournaments are always better when the host make it far, but it wasn't meant to be. The US flopped against Panama, and this is the result. So again, thank you all so much for watching. We're gonna be here tomorrow for Brazil and Colombia. So yeah, I'll be seeing you all next time.